Hi, my name is Mary Burns, and I teach technology classes at San Diego Oasis. Well, I'm a long-time runner. Now, that's not that surprising. I've been running since high school, but I've also been competing for most of my life, although I've stopped. I run marathons. I've run over 125 of them, and my biggest accomplishment was qualifying for 3 Olympic marathon trials, 1984, 1996, and 2000. And one thing about 1984, that was the very first year that women were allowed to run the marathon in the Olympics. So I felt really honored to be part of that first group that got to run the marathon trials. My parents were very hardworking people. My father is very stoic, and so he taught me that I should not complain about things, that I should make the most of things. And it's this advice that helped me to do the things that I accomplished today. And one thing in particular, I remember when I was just getting out of college and I was looking for a place to live, and I didn't find anything in Iowa where I'm from. And my father sat down with me and my father said, you know, you want to go to someplace where you're going to be happy. And I had thought about San Diego, didn't have a job, didn't know anything, but because of my father's positivity and the fact that he was encouraging me to take that chance, I decided to come out here to San Diego, and I've lived here ever since. So I really appreciated their open-mindedness and the fact that they did things for themselves and they didn't expect others to do things for them. Oasis is a learning community. It has a combination of many different classes, all in different areas, all taught by people in the community. The students are anxious to learn, and they're very receptive to the things we have to tell them. And one of the things I like best is that it's easy to register for the classes, it's easy to get in, and it's easy to access the classes, whether they're in person or online.
Hi, my name is Ed. I teach soul line dance at San Diego Oasis. Well, back in 2003, I was going to East Lake Community Church, and a small group asked me if I would join them with the country western line dance. And I did. I didn't think I liked country western, but I loved it. I met some really nice people. I learned from a guy named Cesar Garcia, learned how to teach. So in 2009, I started venturing off into the soul line dance side, which consists of R&B, Latin music, jazz, gospel, and I love that even more. And then I started teaching, and I formed my own group called Velocity in 2010. And ever since, I've been dancing. Well, had a class over La Mesa, and one of the students said, Ed, why don't you come to the Oasis? I think they'll love soul line dancing. So I came over to the Oasis, and I met some of the staff, and they said, yes, we'll give it a trial. And ever since then, we've been dancing soul line dance classes, having the classes here at Oasis. And I came to Oasis in April of 2017. So come April 2022, it'll be 5 years. And it's been growing ever since, and I just love the people here and I love the staff.
Hi, my name is Lee Wells. I teach soul line dancing at the Oasis. I've been sewing since I was 14 years old. Through high school, took sewing in school, and have been sewing ever since. You put it on the table, I can make it. I do alterations as well. During the pandemic, at the start of the pandemic, I made probably 200 or 300 face masks. Some I sold, many of them I gave away to friends, line dance members. So just gave them away as gifts. But I enjoy that. That's my hobby. That's what I do on the side, dancing. I began with line dancing once I retired or decided to retire. One of the ladies in the church that I attended asked me what was I going to do once I retired. I really didn't have a whole lot of plans at that point, so she said, well, you should consider line dancing. I had not a clue what line dancing meant, so she introduced me to her daughter, who was also a member of the church and a member of the Soul Line Dance, Velocity Soul Line Dance. And she invited me to come out to one of the classes. I did, and have been coming to the class ever since. Working with Ed, and I enjoy just helping people on the floor. So I found that helping them on the floor, that just kind of led me to start teaching. So I've been teaching with Ed now for probably about 2 years that I've been teaching with him, but been dancing ever since 2014.
My name is Andra, and I am the cardio drumming instructor here at San Diego Oasis. I am an avid hiker. I love living in San Diego. My whole life I've been here, so we have some great mountains to climb up over here, especially at Mission Trails. And my favorite hike of all time is also Potato Chip Mountain. And then my biggest accomplishment had to be Mount Baldy. I did that for a charity cause, and I practiced around here locally to get my stamina going, and I was so happy that I made it to that elevation, and it was definitely an accomplishment. Well, I have to say I love music, obviously, and so every year my husband and we get to go to Catalina for the annual jazz festival, and there's a variety of artists, young and old, and there's drummers, there's saxophone players, there's all kinds of different musicians, and some of them are big names, and some of them are not very well known, and they're all just great, and the food is awesome. It's just a nice little getaway, and we get to relax and listen to band after band and enjoy beautiful scenery, and that is just my idea of a perfect getaway. I have to say the students here, they are awesome, they're so engaging, and they always make me happy. Those smiles that I get and receive during the class, and the positive feedback, they're just so wonderful, and I always have a great time when I'm here.
Hi, my name is Chris, and I teach music and history through music at San Diego Oasis. Well, there's lots to love. We have beaches, we have mountains, we have the desert, total beauty. We also have the art houses, the symphony, the playhouses, and we have a precious resource, San Diego Oasis. But they were both teachers, and my mother taught me that music can be a way of life. She was a music teacher, director, an opera singer, and she made it possible for a life with music, a life doing music. In terms of my father, he was really into exercise and adventure, and so climbing mountains and hiking in the desert and lifting weights is what I learned is part of a good life. Jamie and I were doing music every week in Spanish Village, and with some frequency people would come by after listening to the music and so on and say, have you ever taught at Oasis? And I knew nothing about Oasis, so I said no, and that was the end of that conversation. And then Danielle Deaton, who teaches here at Oasis, she teaches French, and she's also an artist in Spanish Village. She came out and answered my question in terms of what is Oasis. So then I called Sarah and asked Sarah, basically presented what I could offer, and on the phone she picked up 13 events.
I'm Linda Hawley, and this semester at Oasis, I'll be teaching my flora and fauna and the Kumeyaay people, and something new this semester, 4 travelogue classes. I became interested in learning about the flora and fauna of San Diego when I moved here 21 years ago, because I had no idea what was growing in my backyard, and snakes and lizards were totally new to me. So in the year 2004, I signed up for the Mission Trails Regional Park Trail Guide class. Tremendous class where I learned so much about the animals and the plants, and also about the other natives of San Diego, the Kumeyaay people. So after being a trail guide for a couple of years, I decided that we needed another program for preschoolers and homeschoolers. So I wrote my own program called Nature Adventures, and then I wrote a book to go with my program. It was about 2008 when I started doing really big world traveling and was fascinated by the cultures and learning how many things were similar from culture to culture, country to country, but there were also differences, of course, as well. So I'm excited to teach people about these things that I observed. Actually, Oasis discovered me. Around 2006 or 8, Oasis rep Monica Olmark, who's now retired, called me to give a talk about the Kumeyaay people on the 3rd floor of Macy's in Mission Valley. I've since shared my Kumeyaay presentation 3 more times for Oasis. It's now greatly improved with the PowerPoint slides.
Hi everybody, my name is Pat Griffith and I teach the Tai Chi class at the Escondido Senior Center as well as online for San Diego Oasis. Actually, a couple of things that kind of interlace. One is that I'm actually a former athlete. I was a college basketball player, also played high-level football, and I'm also been doing martial arts for, almost 30 years, and I'm a grandmaster and a system in martial arts. Believe it or not, I'm from a little town in Illinois. A lot of people, I tell them Lansing, they go, oh, Lansing, Michigan, which is the capital of Michigan. I go, no, Lansing, Illinois. It's a little town right on the border of Illinois and Indiana, and I lived there till I was 11, so I've been here for almost 40 years and love being here. Wow, that list could be long, but the thing I like the most is probably, I've been here now for almost 20 years, and I just love enhancing people's lives. My goal is every day to enhance 10 people's lives in a positive way. So you build relationships, you have fun, and you give them health and fitness and longevity. So that's what I enjoy the most.
Hi, my name is Diana Griffin, and I'm the artisan for Queenie Glass and Sass, and I am one of the instructors here at San Diego Oasis. Well, what some people might find surprising about me at this point in time is I am the oldest of 9 children, And that is how I got the company name for my company. Queenie was my nickname, so I decided to go with Queenie Glass and Sass. So Sass is part of the truth in advertising, so you're knowing what you're getting from me. Well, a couple of my favorite things are that I love living in San Diego because you can go to the mountains, you can go to the beach, you can go to the desert. It's pretty drivable no matter where you want to go. And one of the other big things I like is going to the beach. I take my 2 dogs to Fiesta Island every day to run them. So I need to run them so they can get some good exercise and take a nap for the rest of the day. What I really like most about teaching at Oasis are the people that I've interacted with. I have a lot of regular students and they come and we've been able to share stories and learn about their own lives while we're making our art in class. And the staff is always so pleasant and helpful, and I just love teaching here. It's a great place to be.